Okay boys, welcome back to another video. In this one, what we're going to be doing is taking a deep dive into 3 of the best locations in Fortnite Season 7. I'm making this just before the points reset, so hopefully by the time you're watching it, the points have reset, if not a day or two before, which is perfect because it means you're going to have some time to adapt and get these new locations down. Now, these locations are not the best for getting kills, and they're not the best for getting placements. They're just a nice, consistent drop spot. You can be getting it uncontested, or you can get it with 2 or 3 players, but it will never be stacked with, 10 or 15 players, and they're all around good for solos, duos, and trios. So let's hop straight into the video. And before we do, I just want to say that this is part 2 of this series that I just started. So if you want to like and subscribe, we're going to be doing a lot more videos like this, and I will put that video at the end. So the previous video to this will be at the end if you want to go and watch it. Thank you very much. Let's get straight into the video. Okay boys, it seems reasonable to start with the worst of these 3 POIs. Now this doesn't mean it's a bad POI, it just means that the other POIs on this list, in my opinion, are much better. But it's still an insane drop spot, and that's why it's in the top 3 of this list. So this drop spot that I'm talking about is Misty Meadows. It has 145 floor loot spawns, 26 chests, 41 ammo crates, 2 weapon-o-matics, and 28 potential fishing spots in the big lake above Misty Meadows. Now let's hop straight into it. Okay boys, you can see from what's on screen right now that I have the POI zoomed in on Fortnite.gg, and the map is a bit pixelated, so I am sorry for that, but there's going to be a lot of information, so if you can just pull through that, you're going to be having a fat W by the end of this video. So you can see I have it segregated into different drop spots because I feel like duos is not real important this season. It's the funnest mode of all the arenas and for tournaments in my opinion. But unfortunately, all the tournaments are either trio or solo, apart from the odd DreamHack tournament that they decide to put in. So let's keep it real. And I want to show you the best trio drop spots within this POI. You can see I already have them mapped out, and same for solo. So let me explain what I have on screen. These 3 buildings right here are very overpowered for trios because it lets you pick up the most loot. So if you can pick up the most loot, you instantly have an advantage over all your opponents, okay? So if you pick up all these 3 buildings, you have more loot than these 3 buildings, which are your main competitors, okay? And then you've got these guys in the middle. There will be a team that will land here, or at least they will split and try and contest with you and these buildings. If they get these buildings and you get these buildings, you will win because they're going to be getting pinched by this team, if you wait long enough, that is, and you can pinch them from this side. You get me? And they're just stuck in the middle and they're erased. And as well, on this right side, it allows you to, let me get a yellow color right now. It allows you to just fully dip up this mountain, fully dip down the stream, fully dip up. You can go all the way out and split into, what's it called, caddy corner. You can play this so many different ways. You can even split off here and flank. You can split off here and run around and go towards the dam. There's so many different ways you can play it. Just by landing the right side, it allows you to escape more than the other sides, if that makes sense. So if, unfortunately, you don't get good loot, you can still dip. And then I have the solo one mapped out up here, which I'll show you now as soon as I clear up. The solo one, it's best to land up here for solos. You can land down there, and you're going to go for a 50-50. And in a tournament, that isn't a wise choice. And the way we do our content over here, you boys know we play for consistency. You do only get 2 chests. But what you also have is if you get those 2 chests and get solid loot, plus the floor loot, you are vibing, okay? You are fully vibing. And what that enables you to be able to do is go and probably pick up these 2 buildings. These 2 buildings, from what I've seen in VOD reviews and stuff like that, and diving in and looking at, like VOD review maps, this seems to be the least contested out of all of them. And I'm being 100 with you, is these 2 buildings down here. So when you make a combo like this, where people don't expect it, you get me? Like the way I've done these blue ones, people expect it. But unfortunately, you have to play that close in trios. You have to play close play style, building to building, to maximize loot. And if someone contests you, you're right beside your teammates. But no one expects a loot route like this. So it enables you to land and probably not get contested, okay? 90% of the time in this building, you're not getting contested. You can rush down here if it's unlooted, pick up another 3 chests. So now you have 5 chests, and there's a lot of wood and brick up here. There's a lot of wood and brick down here. There's a fishing container, I guess to call them. A cooling container right here where you can get some fish. so you're vibing. If that's not working out, again, you can just play the dip route, like just go dip, go dip off the back. You can also go across here because these won't be getting contested as heavy anymore because there is no bunker chest. So you can pick up a few more chests and then decide to eventually push back in and clean up and get some more kills. If you want to play that playstyle, you don't have to. That's what I'm saying. It's fully, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Reversible. I don't even know if that's a word, but you can dip out of there if you need to. You need to reverse up, you got it. Now, with that said, I don't want to dive too deep into this. I have separate videos where I spend 15 to 20 minutes specifically breaking down Misty Meadows, and that will be on screen right now if you want to see it. But I got to move on to the next part of the video. And also, I will leave a playlist to all my POI breakdowns at the end, so you don't have to click that video in the top right. It'll be waiting for you at the end if you want to see the rest of the video first. That would help me out. It will help you out because there's a shit ton of information. Let's go. Okay, boys, we've had a slight change of plans. I really quickly want to show you the best POI in the whole of Season 7. We're talking pubs, we're talking arena, we're talking tournaments. We're talking solo, we're talking duo, we're talking trio. It's the best POI in the whole of Season 7 for every game mode, okay? It has 31 chest spawns, 95 floor loot spawns, 24 ammo crates, 3 supply crates, 18 fishing spots, and it has a pre-placed jump pad. And on top of that, it has the most benefits. Okay, boys, before I explain to you why this is the best landing spot in the whole game right now, and why it might continue to stay the best landing spot in the whole game right now, I just want to split it into solos and duos so you understand it a bit more, and then I'm going to go super in depth, so make sure you're listening, okay? Obviously, we're going to do what we did with Misty Meadows and split it into solo and trio. I recommend that if you're doing this drop spot as a trio, you should be landing in this whole main area, okay? In the whole main area. And in solos, you should be landing up north. The reason why you want to land up north is because it's going to get less contested than this main area. This place tends not to get contested heavily at all. The max I've ever fought here is 2 teams. That's 6 players in trios. In solos, you don't really get contested at all. I mean, 4 players max. I've never had a stacked Stealthy Stronghold drop, and now with the name being removed from the map, it's getting landed at even less, but people do not know how overpowered it is, how truly overpowered it is. So, before I start bringing out, the floppers and all these different amazing things about this POI, I just want to let you know that if you want me to do a full POI breakdown, 20-minute video, specifically me telling you what building to land at for Stealthy Stronghold, you gotta let me know down in the comments below. Yeah, so just let us know down in the comments below if you do want a full brand new Stealthy Stronghold POI breakdown for Season 7. I will jump in 20 minutes, fully break down the POI to help you boys out. And when I break down POIs, I really break them down. I'm telling you what building to land at, what chests to go to. In this, not so much, because I want to try and give you as much information about different POIs, so that way you're intrigued. So let's continue with the video. When I talk about this being overpowered, I just want to go bit by bit and stage by stage as why it's overpowered. So obviously you got great chests. There's a lot of chests here, like I said in the intro. Now when I remove chests, I bring floor loot out, okay? There's a lot of floor loot, okay? That's okay. Most POIs have a lot of floor loot, but this is where it starts to peak over other, completely just dominate other drop spots. Stealthy Stronghold has 3 supply crates, okay? Now supply crates are in a bit of a fishy moment as of making this video. What they just done was from competitive playlists, so this is only for arena and tournaments, they have removed the railgun and they have removed the grenade launcher, okay? I don't know what it's specifically called, but it's the grenade launcher that, marks people. Now, they haven't worked the chests, so they're only giving you blue, loot, and above. And it's giving you a lot of shotguns. It's giving you a lot of scars and shotguns, specifically gold. I've found it more common to get gold than purple, and there's definitely something wrong with it, man. I've played the game enough to realize that you can get really easy purple weapons out of this, and that makes it completely overpowered because, as far as I'm aware, every other radar station building only has 2. There might be another one, like the main one where Rick and Morty is, just that guy. Yeah, he's there. There's 3 there. But none of the other ones have 3 except this one. So that's just nice to know that you're having a solid advantage and you have insane odds at actually getting a gold weapon off spawn. And now obviously you're not going to be landing here unless you're playing trios. You're going to be landing up here. So that's just one benefit. Obviously then with that building being here, you have the bounce pad, which allows you to go straight down into Pleasant Park, get some kills, go up north, play for placement. And on top of all of that great benefits, let me just find it here on the left, the fishing holes. Look at all those fishing holes, man. You're coming out of here. Insane maths, by the way, right? Brick and wood, easy. Not so much metal. This new building actually gives you a lot of metal. So if you're playing solo and you have the time because of zone, you can farm up a shit ton of metal, especially these radar stations. You can break them down super fast. And then all of the fishing holes on top of that, especially if you have the time to loot them. And you won't get contested here. It's so hard to get contested, man. Like, actually try and get contested. It's harder to get kills here than not get kills. That's what makes it so strong, especially for players playing that placement playstyle. So, again, if you do want me to do a full breakdown of this location, I suggest you let me know in the comments, like I said a minute ago. But I want to get into the last part of the video, which is kind of a nice ending. So, let's get into that real quickly. Okay, boys, for the last and final spot, it's actually a pretty simple, low-key spot. And we're going to be talking about Holly Hedges. It only has 15 chests, 86 floor loot spawns, and 21 ammo boxes. It's got nothing special like supply crates. It's got no vending machines. It's just a chill spot. And let me explain to you why it made this list. Okay, boys, we're here and we're in Holly Hedges. But before I say anything important, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. If anybody in the comments talk shit about my O, I'm gonna mess you up. Now that that's out of the way, let's hop straight into this. So this spot has actually been on my mind a lot recently when I've been doing research for this video. And the reason why it made it this far is because of its rotation abilities. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm making it a word, okay? It's got great rotation ability. And it's able to just, even better, rotate ability. It's able to just spin you off in so many different directions, allowing you to play for placement or play at a very, very high W key play style, you know, high kill rate, killing everybody you see. But I'm going to explain to you how it does that. And I'm going to have to avoid talking about loot and drop spots, but I'll just briefly break it down like I have done the rest of the POIs. So for solo, you want to be landing this building. Now, there's a reason why there's a blue box. People that are OG on the channel know this. And I've put this box around it, meaning this is where you're going to land for solo. But also when it comes to trio, this is one of the main buildings. So you've got this building here, and then this side building, and this building. I've decided to give you the 3 best buildings to land at. Because I have done a breakdown on this before. The link for that is up in the top right of the screen right now. But this is a more passive way of playing it. It's a more consistent way of playing it. The way I show in that video is how to like aggressively dominate it, because it used to be stacked way more than it is. The fact of all these new kind of semi-new locations, a lot of the pro players are going towards there, which they're showing off them locations. When people make the best drop spot videos, and like the likes of It's Jerry and Destiny Jesus is showing you the best spots to land, what happens is the real best spots get clouded up because they're making the same drop spots public. So more and more people become aware of the insane drop spots. So when you have an average drop spot like this, and it's more likely to be free because other players are landing at better locations, this being free makes it an insane location because you could have all these chests uncontested. More than likely. Same way with Stealthy. People don't talk about it enough. And that's why that is the most overpowered drop spot, because nobody's making a video putting Stealthy Stronghold in their best videos because they're not prepared to do the research I've done to find out all the floppers. And it's very simple research. You can do it, man. It's easy research, but nobody does it. So that's why I'm here. That's why I recommend hitting that sub button. And if you have done, I appreciate it. If you haven't, make sure you do it. Right now. Right now. Okay? If not, I'm going to beat you up. But with that said, I want to show you the main aspects of this drop spot and how to rotate out of it. Let me just clear the screen real quickly. Okay, that is the rubber. That is not the bin. Bin it. Okay, let me zoom out for a hot minute. We don't need this anymore. Go away. Okay, boom. Map's gone. Now this is getting a lot bigger. We're zooming out. Okay, we got fish on the screen. We don't want fish. Let's get rid of fish. Okay. Leave this hot. That's too far zoomed out. Right, I just want to show you how to rotate this. Okay, I've done this before. This is all in these big POI breakdowns that I'm about to show in the end screen after I explain Holly Hedges. In these deep breakdowns, there's so much rotation knowledge, okay? It's not even fair how much... I just give it away for free, bro. I'm doing, like, what's it? Pro guides? You don't even need pro guides when you got me. Trust me. Like I said, the playlist for that will be in the end screen. So even if you're not interested in Holly right now, it's definitely worth the wait if you want to see rotation guides like this for the POI you want, because in that playlist, when I tell you I've done every POI in the game, even Corny Complex, I just did Corny Complex the other day. Trust me, I've got you covered. For rotations, like let me get like a red. I'm not going to use green. I'll use blue instead of a green. You know, like the green for go. Orange is a medium. Red is on fire. Okay? And Bony Burbs. If you want to intensely W key and risk your whole game, you could be going Bony Burbs or Believer Beach. Okay? They're intense W key spots at the moment. Even Pleasant Park. But I'm going to put that as an orange, because by the time you make it from Holly Hedges to Pleasant Park, this spot is going to be chilled out. I mean, there's maybe 1 or 2 teams here, and they're probably very good teams because they've just cleared out the whole place. That's why they're the only team there. They've killed everybody. But it, you know, minimizes third parties. But in Bony Burbs, there's constant third parties all day long. People coming in from Pleasant, people coming in from Believer Beach, people going up from Weeping, people using pads from this new drop spot and going over to Bony for a cleanup. People rotating out of Corny because they killed everyone, or they're fleeing because they're about to be killed. You know, there's constant rotations through Bony Burbs. And even though there's nobody ever there when you go through Bony Burbs, it's the #1 spot people go to find kills. I don't know why. It's just a great pass-through spot. Just, you know, if there's people Bony, there's people Bony. And especially with it going to become tilted, I have a strong belief that it's going to change to tilted towers again, just from all the leaks and imagery we've gotten. That this could be an overpowered loot route. Just to clean up in Holly, like I said, nobody's talking about it. You can land here, get stacked, and then make the journey over the Bony Burbs and kill off the last 2 teams in the third party. Seems good. Seems like a good day's work to me, man. Now, explaining this, okay? You've got rotation here. That's an intense rotation. It means you're, like, it's Believer Beach, man. You're guaranteed kills. Bony Burbs, guaranteed kills. And if not directly in Bony Burbs, maybe like somewhere like here, or here, you know, there's always people rotating around in Bony Burbs, around near it, okay? Just keep that in mind. Be prepared for the third party. From Bony Burbs, then, it's the hotspot, because you have the option of going to Pleasant Park. You can go all the way over the Corny Complex. You can go from here to here. This spot, risky, is always contested. You can go down north, over here. Well, go down north. I just said go down north. Damn, bro, if you don't know what's wrong with that sentence, go take some maths class. I think that's where you learn that. Anyway, back to what I'm saying. You can also play that passive playstyle, okay? So, really the only orange place here, well, by the time, okay, Corny Complex is usually a red spot, but by the time, if you wanted to rotate over there from Holly to Corny, it would be chilled out a bit. You get me? It's not intense. There's not like 40 teams there like if you were to drop there. Same with Weeping Woods, that's an orange. Up here would be an orange anyway. Even if you landed here, it's not too contested. But when you're in the high divisions, it's not too contested. But the players that land there are really, really good. Okay, because they know the advantages and disadvantages of landing there. Now, if I swap to blue for great rotation ways, like, see what we've done right now. Okay, a lot of people, I've done this hundreds of times, by the way. You can't see what I see. But look at all these rotation methods. Okay, look at all these yellow arrows. You're focused on the yellow arrows. Focus where they aren't. I know that might sound a bit cringy, but look at this rotation pathway right here. That is a free rotation path. The only way that you get really harmed going this, let me get a different color like I haven't. A bit of pink, okay, is if people rotate out of out of Bony and into Believer Beach, or out of Believer Beach and into this. But if you rotate late enough, you can avoid that. If you rotate early enough, you can avoid that. But if you rotate when everybody else is rotating, it's not going to be fun. Okay? So there's always rotations like that. Let me point out a few more. Okay? Again, you can split off this and go up the creek. Actually, I don't think that creek goes up. You can still rotate that way, though. You can rotate along the coast using these little mountains here as shields, so that way people don't see you out in the open. Same here, you get me? You're less likely to be spotted because people are focused on the obvious. All these big POIs, that's where people are going. That's why there's a person exactly right here on the map. He just doesn't find himself here. He's going for kills. That's why anyone in the center of the map tends to be aggressive. Now, look, I don't want this video to stretch on any longer than it needs to. I feel like I've given you enough information to make Holly worth it. And if you do want more information, this playlist should be on screen right now. And there should be multiple videos that you can watch in that playlist to help you out. And if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It will help your life so much, okay? Thank you so much for watching. I am out of here. Have a good day.